Welcome to episode 6 of Classroom to CEO Discussions. As promised, I'm back with another episode, and a story time will be coming at you this week. This week I'm talking about resiliency and just the power to keep going. Definitely something both the classroom and business will give you firsthand experience at. And for all my teachers, you fully understand if you've ever had to wrangle a class of 20 or even more kiddos right before a break, then you are well ahead and you have built your resiliency because you understand the power in pushing through during those tough moments. Today I'm just diving in more to just how I have now unpacked resiliency from an educator's lens and just how that transfers over into business because there's a power in that. And I would say now I think of it in two separate categories. I think of resiliency like as a teacher, I had to endure like chaos resiliency because I'm a planner. I try to have things in order as much as possible. So like I had the lesson plans, I had a weekly plan that I would just carry around with me on a clipboard to make sure I was in the right spot. My room had like an agenda on the board so the kids could refer to it, even though I might be ready to expect the unexpected. So that is something that teaching taught me, was just to calm my nerves to the plan, because the plan is probably not going to happen. And even just those 20 minutes where you're like, oh, I want to bring my class to the carpet, do a story time, I really want to kick the day off. No, chaos was going to erupt regardless. And I just remember those mornings, it was like, okay, we're going to go to the carpet. But no, I have a kid doing a meltdown because of something that happened with their parent in the morning. In my class, for sure, my kids were on me like Velcro. They always wanted a hug, and I get that they needed that, and I wanted to give that to them. Just moments that I didn't plan for that I just had to be accepting. Just even like as you pull kiddos, that 20 minutes is eaten up by somebody coming over the intercom saying, hey, update your lunch count. Somebody popping up at your door with a note saying, this kiddo's leaving at this time, make sure they have XYZ. The kid that gets sick randomly every morning. So teaching definitely brought me out of the, okay, this is planned, but it's probably not going to happen. And just to understand when something goes left, be prepared to take it right. That was probably the first and biggest thing that teaching has taught me that transfers over into business ownership. I would say now, not a day goes by that I'm not surprised that something is different than what we planned. The other type of resiliency that I'm now just really unpacking is just the emotional resiliency that teachers go through. Like as a teacher, you have to have space for everyone and everything, no matter what's happening. You have to be on go mode to give your kids what you need. And that is something that was really important to me, is just like, how do I come across? How do I present myself in times of just grief sometimes, lack sometimes, just all out exhaustion, just all out indecisiveness. Like you have to build that resiliency. But I would say it's definitely a skill that not everybody has. And it's definitely something that if you master it, that is business gold. If you can be calm and just roll with the punches, even though you hate it, you're 10 steps ahead of everybody else just trying to figure out, okay, what do I do next? Because you often don't have that thought partner in those moments to say, do this. I'm going to always go with what I think my gut feeling is best, because I feel like teaching taught me to go with my gut. I feel like I have very good discernment, and I just learned to really prioritize the importance of the people around you. And then how do you uplift and nurture those people when you see that they're going through a shift, when you see that they have the emotional things going on behind the scenes? How do you build their emotional capacity to be resilient? And that is something I'm forever grateful for to my teaching partners and teams that I had while teaching. I worked with some amazing people. They would come in and check. It was HUD. They knew what was happening, but they didn't like let me sit there in it. And I've always found like sharing what I was going through with a few people, it was always the right people, because they always held me up in the times that I needed so that I could be resilient and get through my day. With teaching, it is minute by minute, moment by moment. You don't catch a breath until you leave the business. Like there's always just something going on, and you have to be able to pivot and twist and really think about what is the best choice moving forward. So the one thing I've learned that I've transferred over into business is just the ability to be a strategic, critical thinker. And you have to do that by default. And that is something that you kind of build your capacity over time. But it is a necessary skill, whether you're teaching, whether you're leading other people, because you have people looking to you. And maybe it's a temporary fix right now, and then we'll get to the full term, but something's going to happen. And that is a great lesson that I got from the classroom, something I'm super appreciative of, because I don't know if I would be who I am today without those experiences. So thank you for tuning in. Watch out for the story time that's coming next regarding just some experiences that I've had, and you guys all have a great day.